Hey guys, I hope everyone is doing well. So, and this is my channel where I intend to talk about topics varying from sports and entertainment and post certain videos which I hope people uh, get entertained by that. So, just the beginning from my side, and today I'm here to talk about one of the sports that I like a lot and I follow a lot is which is tennis, and I'm here to talk about the Djokovic, uh, the issue or the row that happened or the saga that has unfolded quite dramatically over the last couple of weeks. As we all know, that Djokovic exemption to play the Australian Open in spite of being not vaccinated, right? And I'm a big Federer fan. I'm just a kind of a devotee of Federer, right? So, so here I would keep the views as neutral as possible, and uh, I will put my tennis hat or my tennis fan hat first here, considering that this issue involves one of the contemporaries of Federer. So be assured that I will try my best to keep uh, be as neutral as possible on this topic. So first of all, how it unfolded was, that he got the exemption by the Australian Open, which is an independent entity from what the Australian government uh, is, and so so I feel that since he got the exemption in spite of being not vaccinated, and the Australian government had these stricter rules, right, very strict rules about who can enter, right, only the vaccinated people could enter, right. So what I think of this issue is that, first of all, uh, how it unfolded was that you know in the sense that he was not, he was not vaccinated, and I was just quite surprised that why was it approved as an exemption in the first place. Was the Australian Open uh, organizers and the management not aware of what are the rules set by the Australian government and the Australian border security forces? That is what I feel is the major glitch here, that he got that approval in the first place. If the approval was not given, then all this detention, moving him into a quarantine hotels, which is usually uh, kept for refugees, which is like a huge uh, kind of, you can say, a huge negative for Djokovic and the kind of athlete, the kind of sportsman he is, right? Achieving so many things, 20 Grand Slams across all the uh, Grand Slams on all surfaces, and dominating the world for last, I would say, this decade. He's been the best player, to be honest, considering both Federer and Nadal playing. He has been the best player. I mean, hats off. I mean, I will put my hands down there, even though I'm a Federer fan. So that's quite surprising. The treatment that was vetted out to him is what I feel, right? In the sense that all this saga could have been easily avoided, and what unfolded after that, where he fought the case, his lawyers fought it, then the judge, High Court judge, you know, uh, uh, gave the judgment in his favor, where he kind of got the reprieve, where his visa was not cancelled and he would not be deported till the final conclusion for the case, and still hoping that he could play. But again, the immigration department of the Australian government uh, again ruled uh, against Novak Djokovic, where he his visa was cancelled again. He had to be deported, and which could lead to an automatic 3-year suspension from entering Australia, which is like very bizarre, because I mean, one of the top athletes being treated like this, which could have easily been avoided, uh, uh, and all this mess would have been avoided, right? And I mean, there were lots of things that happened after that, right? Uh, where he came back and clarified that he attended certain events 14 days before landing in Australia, in Spain, and in Serbia. And then when he was attending certain events in Spain, he had tested positive, although he was asymptomatic, but he still uh, he had not got the report as such on his. He was not aware of the positive report while he was attending those events. So I mean, you could give a benefit of doubt, but still, I would think of it as a lapse, right? Where he did not declare that where all he traveled in the last 14 days before landing, in Australia. So that is one of the big reasons I feel, coming across as, it would have been his agent, his team, right, who would have filled those forms where they declared that, he uh, you know he he did not go to any other country. He just directly came here. He did test positive, but he has tested negative now, and he did not travel as well. So I think this was one of the major key things here, where it kind of projects an image which is not good, right? At least with the kind of controversies that has happened, especially during this COVID times, where he had organized the charity events uh, in Serbia, I think 2 years, 1.5, 2 years back, where I mean there were lots of parties and everything going on, and people getting tested positive left and right. So I think that is what has put a big dent in his image. And considering the controversies in, in the last year's US Open, where he had to he was by a very small incident, although it's against the rules, against the rules that are set by the Grand Slams, where he hit the ball with his racket so hard that it hit one of the line's women on the throat. So I mean these kind of things really doesn't go well with the kind of athlete or the kind of performances, and being the best player currently in the world today, right, should project, right, even though uh, there might have been uh, certain things which he would have done right. In spite of that, those things coming across as uh, not that great uh, in terms of how his image has been. And just to give you a uh, quick perception of how uh, it has been, right, if you see here, right, the kind of if you just see here the kind of headlines that are coming, right, brooding, divisive, tennis great with fiery temper, right. These uh, don't put him in a right pedestal and kind of a role model that all the world, or the world of tennis and the upcoming kids who start playing tennis, should look forward to. I mean, the legacy, absolutely, the relentlessness, the fitness, the never giving up attitude, and just competing with the best and being the best. All that is definitely there, but I mean, you need to have certain. Uh, so you need to have a certain image and certain projections, right, which kind of don't kind of put a small dent, I would say, in your overall history as a tennis player. But I think the tennis world would remember him as one of the greats to have played the game. And uh, considering the kind of contemporaries in Federer and Nadal that have been there, right, and winning 20 Grand Slams, and probably he might win, and he should be winning more than 20 whenever he gets a chance to play, right. So that's what I feel all overall about it. I think it's there is nothing right and wrong. We should not always put something always in black and white. I think there is always a gray area where we should consider the probabilities of what could have gone wrong overall in this overall controversy, or the saga, or kind of things, how things have unfolded, right, where he had to now go back. Such a disappointment, preparing throughout the year, getting yourself ready for the next new season, new year, new Grand Slam, chance to create a history, right? All that, gone down the drain for now. So I think in terms of the probability, right, I said there's nothing right or wrong. I do feel the detention pieces, the deportation, all those things could have been avoided. So I would give it to, I would put probably 40 to 40% of the blame to the Australian government, Australian Open, for giving him an exemption in the first place, and not basically clarifying uh, in the first step itself that how strict the rules are. and probably 60% on in terms of, you know, these are unprecedented times, right? I mean, you want to take extreme care. A country needs to take extreme care of its population when it comes to COVID, because it spreads so fast, and then it can cause deaths, where your health infrastructure is not able to handle. And him attending certain events in spite of being COVID positive, just 14 days before, within 14 days of traveling to Australia, all that, and not declaring all those things uh, to the immigration department was, I think, a big mistake. So I would probably hand off around 60% to Djokovic and team. I'm not saying it was all Djokovic who did it. He was not aware. I think probably it might have been a miss overall by his team, in terms of not informing or not clearly communicating or declaring the whatever happened, right? And he was supposed to attend some events. He attended, uh, considering his best of intentions, but still it did not turn out well. So I think overall that's how I would put it. And I mean, yeah, it's not good. I mean, it's not that it would probably uh, uh, not probably good for the overall tennis, for overall Australian Open. I mean, it doesn't take away anything from the competitiveness nature of the Australian Open or a Grand Slam, but I think overall it was not a good experience, and the kind of things that have happened, uh, in spite of however way the intentions could have been, uh, I mean, this could have been avoided with clear cut communications and full transparency from both ends, is what I feel, right? So I mean, that's it. I mean, I would have to say. And I hope you like my point of views here, and I would like to hear back from whoever watches this video, and can post a comment about it, what they feel about it. Uh, uh, so I tried my best to keep a neutral point of view here, and would try to keep these kind of point of views whenever I talk about tennis or cricket or any other sport involving either uh, a sports personality that I am a fan of, or some other personality who is doing great things in his or her, field. So I hope you like this, and if you like it, please hit a like button, and just do let me know in the comment section what you guys feel about overall, this issue. And if you have anything to tell me, just go ahead and do that as well. So that's where I end this, and bye bye.